let us continue playing Star Ocean 2. When we last left off, we are in the mining town of Salva. One thing I did do off screen just quickly was I took myself up to level 4. No real reason for that, I just felt like getting a full extra level out of things. It also gives us enough skill points that we can actually now learn the first level of technology. I am not going to do that though. I'm going to save my points for at least until we get a few of the skill manuals. I will explain why at the time. Those of you who already know what I'm probably doing will already know why. Anyway, here are some items. Now, raspberry jam, hit points for 1. If I actually toggle that, it'll tell us heals 10, heals 11, heals 12. Now, it is possible to make these items in the game as well, and any item you make does have various effects. There are also other reasons to buy jam, I have an odd feeling as well, but I can't remember what they are right now. Anything at the inn we can snaffle? I don't think so, actually, offhand. So bye-bye there. There are people we do have to speak to, but for now, there is the dual dagger, where we get a hefty ring. Also, if I go and buy things, we can go and buy raw materials. Again, these are used to basically create items and things. These are the free items we're going to be using a lot more than most of the others. So in fact, I'm going to buy a couple of them. Actually, I don't need to. I probably do, but we're not going to right now. We don't have a lot of... Yeah, sorry, it is very warm out, so I do have the window open. I will apologise. So let's go and pick up some leather greaves, leather armour. Brass knuckles is for Rena's weapons. I think we'll go with that. So let's just check out. And also equipment that raises our defense by 8 points. Okay. Oh. Alan, the mayor's son, took that stone away with him. Basically, the mayor's son has found a stone worth about 50,000 fol. Washing some bizarre stone. Well, let's go into the house. Hello, sir. Not seeing anybody at this time. Please leave. No, we want to go and loot things. Because, you know, loot things. This is what we do here. Hello. It's really quite remarkable. Ah, well. I'm sure you can find precious jewels in mines. That shouldn't be a problem for you. Portrait B. Now this is... Let's just find it here. This is actually a portrait of Rena. It's a usable item, and I believe it's for friendship points applied to a certain character. Was there anything else? I'm sure there was. I'm trying to remember exactly how that's used, but I think it's just it adds friendship points. As I've said, there's sort of a secret friend points and relationship points thing.
This planet's even more backwards than I expected. I can't find any leads anywhere. Nothing's popping up on my communicator either. Oh well. Guess I'll go back to Arlia and figure out what to do next.
Sounds like a reasonable plan. So basically, yeah, we give it up on this town because it is worthless, backwards, and not at all useful for us. Here is the inn where... I'm trying to think. There is something you can do there, but we won't do that now. Yeah, there's something to do there. I mean, it's a private action that's there. There's sort of a separate sort of system when you enter town. So you can either enter town as a group, as you normally would in any RPG, but there's also a split the party up button, where basically you can then encounter everybody else who's in your party in the town. This is useful for a couple of reasons. Firstly, you can actually steal from your own party members once you've got the ability to.
What's everyone out here for?
Ah, Mr. Kenny, Rain is in trouble.
Oh? Not more gorillas in the Sacred Forest.
Rena? What happened to her?
Mr. Kenny, do you know about the son of the mayor from the next town over?
He has a shiny stone, that's about all we know.
Yes, a little.
Then I'll cut right to the chase. Alan has taken Rena away by force.
Okay.
Taking her away? Where?
I'm afraid to say this, but I believe he took her back to his mansion. He's one of Rena's most overzealous suitors. I never thought he'd be the sort of man who would take things this far, however.
The bastard.
Well, what are you standing here for? We've got to help her.
I'm afraid things aren't that simple. Alan's the son of the mayor. He's one of the most powerful people in his hometown.
We could face retaliation in one form or another. Not that I accuse the mayor of being such a base individual, of course. I'm merely saying that the possibility of such a thing is much greater than zero.
Alan also has a gang of thugs to serve as
That's
his
the real
personal
reason,
guard.
of course. It's not the
I
political
imagine
intrigue
he
of
threw his
things.
money at all
It's
the
the
local
thugs.
ruffians he could find.
Indeed, it's the thugs you fear, not the
His
political
gang all look
fallout.
tremendously tough. If we tried to confront them head on, we would have no chance against them.
But still!
Something like this has never happened before. I'm at a loss as to what we could possibly do.
Oh, Raina. My Raina.
Well, there is one solution we do have, but this is definitely going to break the
Then
EP
I'll go
free.
save her. Since I'm not from this village, my actions shouldn't have any effect on the rest of you. I'm just a random nobody who decided that Raina could use some of my help.
But Mr. Kenny, it would be too dangerous to try and take them on by yourself.
You forget, sir. I
Can and I will.
gun.
I have my sword of light, remember? Just wait for me, all right? Don't worry.
Oh dear.
Mr. Kenny,
I believe the religious person in the middle has made a connection of sorts.
Please save her. I need Raina back.
I know. I promise I'll get her back to you.
And so our quest to go back to Salva begins. I don't think there's anything we can actually do in Arlia if we go back there right now, so onwards! No encounters, that's not a problem though. We're going to enter into a reasonably tough dungeon anyway, so... And the reason it's reasonably tough is because of what's about to happen here. Darn it! RPG characters
Damn it,
locking
it's
their
locked.
doors.
Guess I'm blasting my way through.
Just remember, we're not supposed to do anything which would cause undue fuss.
Sweet! Huh? Crap, my phase gun's almost out of energy. I'll need to lay off it for a while, but there's no turning back now.
Yep, instead of now going in there with a sword of light, we're now going in there with a sword of
Whoa!
metal.
What was that?
The Sword of Light!
And now 2 towns believe us. Okay, they haven't left the house. What you actually need to do is go over here, because you will find
What's that?
a shiny thing.
This is Raina's hairpin. What's it doing in here?
Key item acquired, the hairpin. Thought that I was aware she actually wore one at any point before this, but you know.
If Raina's hairpin was dropped in here,
Claude obviously pays attention to these things.
that could only mean one thing.
Yep, she was in this room at some stage. Or that the hairpin was. Also, thanks to the other shiny object, we find the secret passage into the
I
mines.
knew it!
Because secret passage is always behind bookcases. Always. It's one of my pet peeves, actually, in playing Dungeons & Dragons. I hate the secret
Are you okay?
passageways are always behind
Who did this to you?
bookcases. Because book-based switches are not generally... I know it's sort of pressurized plate type thing on that one lever connected to the book, but still. There's better things you can disguise that lever as.
who are you? Hurry! He kidnapped Raina.
Yes, we're aware of that.
I'm Raina's friend. Is she down this way?
Raina's been taken away, deep inside the Salva mines. Alan paid me to build this bizarre altar for him. I think he's set on taking her there. I tried to stop him, but he overpowered me.
Darn his thugs.
So he's inside there?
Right, be careful. Something's not right with Alan.
All right, wait here, okay? I'll come back for you once I find Raina.
Sorry that I can't help.
No worries, mystery person. Right, we are going to save here because, as I've said, this is a slightly tougher dungeon than we've been in thus far. But it shouldn't be a problem to us. Sword of Light or not. Alright, first item we pick up is a Rose Hip, which is a small 2% healing item, and some Blackberries, which is the main mana gaining item. We have encountered
We can handle this.
Werewolf Thing. But of course, we're good with our sword, so
That's one for us.
we're good enough with our sword anyway. Now, you do get a minor bit of healing each time a battle ends. That can be enhanced with certain skills, which we will eventually go and grab. Now, we take some more blueberries and another random encounter.
We can handle this.
These aren't tough at all, actually. Ow.
How about this?
Ow. I say not tough at all, but they are hitting us.
Well, I'd say that's worth 10 out of 10.
I wouldn't say that's a 10 out of 10 result, but he's going to continue going with it. They sort of hit, for some reason he gives a scoring system for himself, but he only does it very occasionally. Yes, that's why you can't get in the mines the normal way. The soldiers will block it off, because they are thugs. Anyway, moving along this way, more random encounters.
We can handle this.
Oh god, these things. The jumping rabbits can be a little annoying, because they fight in very odd, bizarre ways. But if you can get underneath them, you normally... Because you sort of have to automatically jump if they're in the air, but if you can get underneath them, actually, it's reasonably easy to deal with them. Anyway, that's a level up and 5 additional skill points. Now, there is a passage to the left there. We will want to go down there. More iron. Again, these are all sort of item creation things, which we will cover at a later stage. This time, though. Stab you. Stab you.
That was easier than I thought.
Now, this does have a separate section of dungeon here, because this little area, here be dragons. We will be exploring that a bit later, because I prefer... Basically, at certain stages in the game, you have options of which characters you go for.
We can handle this.
One of them involves you going down that passageway, and it's normally one I go for, because it's one very good character as opposed to one awesome character and one terrible character, who you have to take as a pair. As in, technically going and not doing that leads to a character who is strictly in-game better than the other one. However, I prefer... I'm being vague, I know, I do apologise. But I prefer the character of that person, if nothing else. It's enough of a reason to go for him rather than the pair of characters we can pick up as an alternative to him.
We can handle this.
Lots of bandits. Let's go and... There we go. Slash. For some reason I thought it was a sign for the other button and we missed. Actually though, these things are so weak now they're barely going to be harming us at all if they manage it. If they manage it. And I should really not be comboing here. I should just going slice one, slice one. There we go.
I'd say that was 8 out of 10.
Probably, because they did eventually hit us, but you know. More blueberries. Who would trust fruit in boxes in a mine? I'm just being honest here. I mean, true, they're probably supplies for the miners, but still.
We can handle this.
Also, we could do with healing before we do the... That's the other thing, side. They sort of jump on your heads as well. Come on.
Take this.
Come on! Stupid rabbits!
That was easier than I thought.
Dealt with though. Rabbit risotto has now been acquired. Now there's one other thing which is kind of related to cooking. If you go into status, you will note that each character has a favourite food. That food, regardless of its actual healing qualities, is a full restore for that character. And I believe it's semi-random. Claude is a great lover of hamburgers, or at least normally, or meat sort of substances. It's usually a hamburger, but it's not always, I don't believe. I might be wrong about that. It might always be a hamburger, but there are certain foods that certain characters love more than any others. Spectacles allow us to use an appraisal
We
to
can
find out what a
handle this.
mystery item is. There are occasional mystery items, and you do need to find out what they are, because some of them are very valuable. Some of them are just the weird, monstrous creations you make from failed cooking attempts,
That
which
was
you have to
easier than I
identify.
thought. Whoa!
More risotto, and 6 more skill points. So how are we up to now? We're up to 17, but I'm not going to use them. As I've established, there are reasons for not using items at this stage. Alright, we've gone and done everything. Let's go and use the save points. By the way, these 2 points are really close together.
We
It's
can
very
handle this.
generous with the save points, this game. Come on! Stupid jumping rabbits. There we go. Thankfully, you don't need to hit them
That's
too
one
often.
for us.
And more rabbit risotto. Actually, I should find out how good that is as a healing item. Maybe acquired. 35% health, which is not a bad. And it's definitely not the status favorite food because it didn't restore us all the way. So we're fully healed. We don't have a lot of mana, but we've only got 1 ability we have anyway. So let's just go for it.
Reyna!
That's close enough.
So you're out. Let Reyna go. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
If you'll excuse me, sir, we are in the middle of a holy ceremony. In just a moment, we will be together as one. I would appreciate it if you would show some respect. Now then, my Reyna.
No! Mr. Kenny, help me!
Stop it! This isn't anything holy! You can't force someone into marriage like this!
Force? I think you're a tad mistaken here. We are in love with each other. Love with each other. Love!
Urge to kill rising.
Love with...
Oh no!
Quite what do you think's going on? I don't know, but either way, we've managed to untie Reyna.
Mr. Kenny!
Evil stone.
Damn it! Look out!
And the evil stone has mutated into
Look out, here they
a
come.
ogre-type
careful.
beast.
Air slash!
Anyway, we're going to keep up with the air slashes. As I say, they have different abilities depending on how close you are. That's the other one, which is quite good actually for a sort of separate everybody. Also, I forgot to set Reyna at really.
That was
one
an
for
easy
us.
win. Ooh, great!
Whoops. What we'll have to do is set up Reyna's tactics menu, but I think she's set up to be a healer at the moment, or hopefully not do nothing, because that's actually quite terrible.
Reyna! Are you alright?
Yeah.
I think we killed Alan.
What happened to this guy, Reyna?
I don't know. Ever since he came to Arlia, it's like he was possessed by something.
But people don't just turn into this kind of monster. What's going on here?
Alan, you were such a good person, too.
Maybe we did kill him.
Reyna,
Why did this have to happen?
Nope, he's not dead. I didn't think we killed him.
Alan!
he's still breathing.
And Reyna, of course, has some healing magic, which has some significance. But
Where
that
am
will be
I?
explained later.
Huh?
Everything will be explained later.
Why are you here?
Alan! You're back!
You could still be possessed, you know.
What do you mean? Oh, my head's spinning. I feel like I've been stuck in a dream for days.
I guess that stone was what caused all this trouble. Once it's gone, that was enough to turn him back to normal.
What did we do
I'm
with
so
the stone
happy
anyway?
for you.
Let's go back to the mansion. We can figure everything out over there.
I did all of that?
Yes, you did, I'm afraid. It was a terrible experience.
Wow. I can't remember a thing. You're telling me I had Bosman build that altar for me?
Yep, it was about 2 weeks ago that you sent me the order. Now that I think about it, that was around the time I started to notice you acting strangely. Like you were in your own little world or something.
It must have been that stone. Whatever power that stone's emitting was enough to mentally transform you.
And, you know, actually transform him based on the monster we fought.
I think you're right about that. The first time I saw that stone, it was like something swelled up inside my head. I felt like I could literally do no wrong. That I was right, and everyone else was to do my bidding. I don't remember much after that, but I don't think I'll ever be able to forget what it felt like at that single moment.
Alan,
Raina, I'm sorry. I know I was unconscious during that time, but I feel terrible for doing those things to you.
don't feel bad, Alan. Besides, you're back to normal, and I know the real Alan would never do anything like that.
Thank you.
We better hurry back to Arlia. Your mom's worried about you, Raina.
And I think we're going to call that a video here, because, yeah, we dealt
need
with the
to go
first
explain what
actual
happened to
dungeon, and
everyone
the
in
intro
Salva.
part of the game is nearly
Hopefully
over.
they'll be understanding.
No, it takes us straight to Alia, actually.
Raina!
And thus, everything is fine.
Well, looks like we owe you our thanks once again. You saved Raina's life not once, but twice now.
Oh, no. I hardly did anything worth thanking me for.
So is that what started this whole little episode? That little stone he found in the Salva mines?
Apparently so.
That's the only explanation I can think of. When the stone shattered, Alan snapped back to normal.
First you go mad, then you transform into a monster. That stone almost reminds me of the sorcery globe.
Interesting. A smaller piece of it,
Yes.
maybe?
It does seem to be that way. Perhaps the two are related somehow.
The sorcery globe.
That's just something that popped into my mind anyway.
It sounds like the town of Salva is in an uproar right now. As if Alan didn't cause enough chaos, rumors about the hero have made it over there as well.
Yeah, totally my fault. We shut down the door.
I'm sorry. I know you had warned me about that.
Do not take that as a criticism. It was unavoidable with your mind focused upon saving Raina's life. Still, the story has spread too far now. Hiding it any longer will prove to be very impractical.
I see.
Yep, I am the hero again.
Would you mind investigating the sorcery globe for us, Mr. Kenny? I know this is an awfully selfish request, but frankly, I cannot think of anyone more fitting for the task.
Yep.
I as well believe Alan's fit of madness has something to do with the sorcery globe. If you could save him, then perhaps you could do yet more for us.
Mr. Kenny?
The sorcery globe. As of now, the sorcery globe seems to be the only thing on this planet that has any connection to outer space. I don't have anything else that's even close to a lead right now.
True enough.
Knowing what I know now, it's hard to think of the sorcery globe as just a normal meteorite. Finding more about it could prove to be more valuable than I thought.
Quite how it's going to get you
All
home is
right,
another matter.
I'll do it.
You will?
But first, let me just remind you that I'm not the hero. Saving the world is just way beyond me, I'm afraid. But I think the sorcery globe might provide some useful information for my own personal reasons. If I can help everyone else in the process, then I figure it'd be worthwhile, you know?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenny. We will help you out as best we can.
Thank you, but I'm not making any promises.
The reluctant hero, folks.
Could you take me with you, Mr. Kenny?
Raina!
Raina!
You heard what the mayor just said. I want to help out as best I can.
But Raina, it's going to be dangerous.
I fully understand that, but I just know I will be of some help to you along the way. You don't know very much about this land, do you, Mr. Kenny? So you're gonna need some kind of guide in your travels. I could at least provide you with that, right?
Fair enough, and she does have healing magic, and a
I
healer is always going to be
suppose so,
appreciated.
yes, but... Come on, Mayor. Help me out here.
I don't think the mayor's going to help you.
That's right, Mr. Kenny. Why don't you take her along if that's what she wants?
Mayor,
I'm sure she'll be a tremendous asset on the road. Please, think it over some.
Okay, I got it. But get your mom's permission first, Raina. I'm not gonna let you come with me unless she gives the green light.
yeah, I know.
In that case, you should probably head for Cross first. That's a pretty large town, so I'm sure you'll find some leads there.
It's actually the largest town on this continent, as it turns out. So calling it a town is a bit much, but oh well.
Take care on your way home, Raina. It's starting to get chilly, so don't catch cold now.
Oh, I'll be all right. My house is right over there, you know.
I forgot how long this bit goes on for. It's still not actually anywhere near over. I thought I'd have a trip down back to town so I'd be able to save it and do this all next
I'm not
video.
being a
But
burden on you, am I? I know I kind of forced you into this.
sorry.
No, of course not.
Listen,
Yes?
They're talking too loudly outside my house.
Raina, are you still here? I thought you'd be back home by now.
Have a good night.
What's the matter with her? Oh, well, I can't have myself catch a cold out here. Back inside for me. And for you, too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next time we're going to see the end of this little sequence, because it's still not quite over yet, and then we shall begin our journey towards Cross. So, until then.